All right. Diburei Emunah, Daf Pei Beis. The main shleimus, you zoicha, you merit perfection, is through the dibur. Because Baruch Hu helps, and the dibur is guarded properly, then you attain perfection. Because also, if a person is zocher to any madregas of kedusha, even when a person is already zocher to madregas of kedusha, he still has to guard the dibur. As Rabbeinu said, "Ze belo ze I efshar." This without this is not possible. In other words, tikkun abris without guarding the dibur is impossible. And Rosen brings in Kut Haloches, in Orach Chaim Mesis Kapayim, he says that this in itself, in other words, a damaged dibur, either Lashon Hara or Nibul Peh or anything like that, besides the fact that it brings about damage in the bris, that damaged dibur is in itself gama bris, because the shmiras bris is divided into many different inyanim. There is the eyes, and not to look at bad, and the ears not to hear, and the bris itself, and then the mouth, to guard the dibur in exquisite shmira, not to speak what you need not to speak. Because somebody who is a real Shem HaBris, everything is guarded. Everything is. Now he's speaking about Reb Shmuel Isaac, but the exalted Madrega of Reb Shmuel Isaac was Talmud Rabbeinu. Rabbi Shmuel Isaac, the one that Rabbeinu told him, to carve out the left side of his heart, was an gewaldige mensch. Was a huge Baal Maila and an unbelievable Oved Hashem. There are unbelievable stories about his avodah. Reb Shmuel Isaac once came to Rabbeinu in Breslov. When he just got into town, he started missing Rabbeinu. He had to go. He's like fire, and the longing became so hard. He started running. He started running in the streets of town to the house of Rabbeinu. Rabbeinu was sitting there speaking with his people. As he came in, blew in, and fell on his feet and hugged his legs. So the people around they wanted to lift him up, to help him out, and they thought that from the road, he was tired, maybe he fainted, whatever it is. So Rabbeinu said, "Don't touch him." He says, "Don't touch him because his crude clothing." In his crude clothing, that he had this great coat, for the winter. So he says, "Don't touch him because he had his coat on." He said, because in his coat, they asked in Shemayim, who is going to be Melech? Now in Shemayim, who's going to be Melech on Russia? So they looked at his coat. In other words, don't look at the begodim of a poor person, the tatters, the poor person's clothing that he's dressed, because he has a daya in the Shemayim, who's going to be the Melech? Because at that time there was a big argument, very famous argument between the Berditchever and the Balatanya, who should be Melech on Russia. Because the previous Tsar passed away and there were two children. One of them was a son Israel, but he was a religious guy. And the other one was easier, but he was like an enlightenment kind of guy. So the tzaddikim had an argument who is less bad for Am Yisrael. So there's a ma'aseh, so they say in Chabad they say that whoever is going to blow the shofar first on Rosh Hashanah, it'll be like his day, because Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Hashanah Melachim. So, and they say that the Ditchever daven very quickly.
Yeah.
So you can blow the shofar quickly, and when you blow the shofar, you already knew the Baal Tanya already blew the shofar. But I blew the shofar before davening. When I blew the shofar before davening. That's the story, the way the story goes. I don't know what and it says at that time, this was this big argument between the tzaddikim who is going to be the melech. He's saying it. Who's going to be the melech between these two candidates? One of them was good to the Jews, with a big apikoris. The other one was bad in Gashmis, was with Diburei Emunah. Rabbeinu testified that Shmuel Isaac, they asked him his opinion, who is going to be a melech. Shmuel Isaac was a gewaldige tzaddik. And even to him, the Rabbeinu told him, what, for a little shtickle of blood, you're going to forsake this world and the next world? He says, really, this saying is directed at each and every one of us. For shtickle yitzhara, for a little bit of blood, and then you've got to lose this one, the last one. He says, krech tzechois, just like sigh and moan until